Welcome everyone to this week's Pick-a-Pile reading by Imagination. This topic this week is guidance from your Daimon, and this is really motivated by a new tarot card deck that I received called the Occult Tarot by Travis McHenry. I am very much interested in learning about these beautiful, beautiful Daimon spirits and what kind of messages they have to offer. But look at this red gilding, my goodness. So pile number one is going to be Orbus, and forgive me if I am saying them wrong. I am just learning these, but this is this guy. Look at that guy. Pile number two, Zepar, which is not so fantastical looking. Just some skinny-legged individual and some armor. Great hair. So that's pile number two. And pile number three, Amon. Look at this for a critter. Look at you! Terrifying. Absolutely love it. What could you possibly have to tell us? So much. So, my lovelies, take some time and reflect on what messages you want to receive from these spirits. For Daimons are not negative creatures. They have both benefic and malefic aspects, and they can share infinite wisdom with us. So let's take a moment to think about Orbus, Zepar, and Amon. And once you've chosen your card, let's get to it. Before we begin though, I'm going to play a little acknowledgement about the place that this video is being recorded on. So let me just get this set up, and here we go. In the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we honor and acknowledge that together we live, work, and play on this land of the people of traditional Treaty 7 territory. The Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika Kanai Pikani. The Tsuut'ina Nations, Iarhe Nakoda, and Region 3 Métis Nation of Alberta. So, pile number one, who chose Orbus. Let's have a great look at this guy. Orbus is representing the Three of Pentacles in the tarot deck. This interesting horseman, and is said to answer questions about the past, present, and future, gives dignities, grants the favor of friends and foes, and is a faithful servant. These are some of the sigils one may need to do some ceremonial magic. I do not recommend doing that unless you know what you're doing, but let's get into talking with Orbus, the Three of Pentacles, and see what this being has to offer for messages. So first, let's shuffle the cards and consider focusing on what does Orbus need to share with group number one. What insights does Orbus need to share with group number one? What kind of information about the past, present, and or future does Orbus need to give to us, group number one? So, I'm going to pull the bottom of the deck for why group number one may be coming to check out Orbus. And they are hoping to find something, you are, I should say, you, they, whatever. You are hoping to find something that you want to reclaim. Maybe something that has been taken from you or that you're in the process of reclaiming. Interesting, group number one. So let's see. Let's get an expand. Okay. To expand on what you have lost. Aha, aha, aha. Group number one, it seems that you are reclaiming your independence. And why do I say that? Well, I say that because of the Father of Cups card. And this card is, you know, although we're not saying that this was an emotional wet blanket of an individual. We're not saying that this was a bad relationship, although maybe it ended. Maybe it just never went anywhere that you wanted it to. Maybe it just wasn't a right fit, even though you're both great people. Either way, decisions have been made. Choices are clear. And it's about becoming an independent, stable person who is able to be grounded in themselves and do their own work with confidence and holding their head high. So when we think about that in relation to getting something back, it seems like overall group number one, you're in the process of reclaiming your independence. You are separating yourself from the identity of being enmeshed with another. You have made clear, distinct choices for yourself, and you are reclaiming your sense of identity and independence. Very powerful stuff. What of us? If this is the past and present, please tell us, what messages do you have for how this goes in the future? We have the Daughter of Wands reversed. Now let's look to expand on that. Please. There we go. We have the Hanged Man energy, the Fool reversed, and the Devil reversed. So, group number one. What I really get from this is that even though you're working on this process of reclamation, don't think that in the future you're just going to be like, wham, bam, here we go, done, got it, lessons all over. It's not exactly that way. With this Daughter of Wands, which would be the Page of Wands reverse, it's kind of like having to cool it, having to take a step back, having to let go of making choices based entirely on passion, for example, and really having to put in some time of major self-work. With the Hanged Man, this sweet little badge, it's about taking time out and continuing to cultivate yourself. Continue working on your independence. Ask yourself, why didn't this work? What lessons can you learn from it? What can you, what is your takeaway, basically? Because it won't yet be a great time to start something new. Because if you're just like, hey, this thing ended and I'm an independent woman, and or I'm an independent man, or being, or they, or them, or whatever expression you have going on, if you are snapping and thinking, I just broke up with this person, or I just left this situation, or I just quit my job, it's like, hey, we need to rest, digest, learn, process before we move forward with anything. We need to learn about what just went down and how we cannot do that again in the future. Even though this individual possibly, or scenario in question, it does seem like it was healthy, and it does seem like it was good because of the fact that it has the Father of Cups upright. There is still this lingering factor of, self-sacrifice and sabotage. So if you're reclaiming something about yourself around independence, around the fact that your personal identity, as it were, making decisions, leaving something that was safe and nurturing and making decisions to strike it out on your own. It's not time yet to fully go on your own, because there are things that need to be learned first, released first, or else you're just going to carry that same thing with you going forward into whatever your next venture is. I'm also going to try something a little bit interesting here. Well, let's first talk about Orbis. So the Three of Pentacles as well can also talk about going into new endeavors or collaborations with other individuals. But what I find interesting particularly about this is that this sounds like you're like striking it out on your own. So if you had a creative project or you had some sort of business opportunity, you're like, that was good while it lasted, but we've decided we're going in like separate directions artistically, and I think I really need to work on my own practice. I think that's the message that Orbis is giving to you, and I would like to pull out another new toy that I have, which is these babies, which are Druidic Geomanyc Sticks. Now, I am not well versed in these at all, so please bear with me. You're going to basically see me in the learning process, but this is how we've got to learn, right? We've all got to practice somehow. So, for my group number 1, what other message, what other divination can the sticks bring? Okay, so for this pattern, what do we have? Major fortune. This is friends, harmony, good fortune, and victory. So, again, what I find very interesting, Orbis is telling you going forward, it's not quite time. There's still a lot of self-work that you're going to need to do on yourself before starting a new journey. And it has to do with releasing things before you set foot on trail, because you'll take it with you. Ultimately know that where you're headed, again, if this is becoming independent in identity, if this is a difference in relationship status, if this is a creative endeavor, if this is job, etc., whatever this is, you are going to have success with it. You are going to be able to overcome and release the things that you need to. You are going to have support of your friends. You're going to have harmony. You're going to have people being like, yes, you can do the thing, whatever the thing is that you are doing out of that list of possibilities that I gave you. And I'm sure there's more that you can think of, because only you know your proper situation. So success will come ultimately, but don't rush it yet. Don't think immediately, once you've let something go, once you've made that choice, with the Two of Swords reversed, that you're like, boom, done, it's over. No, there is still some time for reflection that needs to happen, processing. Don't just run from one thing to the other, or else you're just going to bring all of that patterning with you to the next thing. So pile number 1, that is the reading. Let me know if you like a little bit of experimentation today with my occult Daimons and with my Druidic Geomancy. I'm only going to get better with these as I continue, but for now they're just going to be little additions that I can give. Yeah. So with that being said, I'm going to take these away. Group number 1, thank you so much for coming. You can always check me out on Instagram as well. I also have a website, imaginationwitch.com. Does this overlay? It does. Man, look at that. It's like I knew what I was doing. Holy shit. Alright, group number 1. That's your reading for this week. Bye-bye. Alright, group number 2, who chose Zepar, the interesting individual here. Zepar is related to the Lover's card and is said to cause women to love men and brings them together in love, can make women barren. Now, this is definitely around a notion of heteronormative dialogue, but take it as you will. It doesn't have to be women to men and women only be barren. It can, I think, be anything. I think it's more about trying to get someone to be in love with you who probably necessarily wouldn't. It could be some of that trickstery energy, but not necessarily all the time, because demons aren't wholly bad or wholly good. So, we're going to start off. Ow, I hit my elbow. Hoo, hoo, funny bone, funny bone. Let's find out what is the fundamental reason that group 2 came to this reading. What are they hoping to find out from Zepar? What are they hoping to be able to learn from Zepar? Zepar? Someday I will learn the pronunciations. 2 of Pentacles reversed. So, interesting enough that this is 2, and the Lovers is about making choices as well, which can be between 2 things. So what I see here, group number 2, is that you feel out of balance, out of whack. Maybe you're juggling too many things. Maybe you're feeling unstable, but you're not sure which reality, which object, which job, which whatever. You're stuck between 2 things, swaying back and forth. You're like, yes, I want to do this. Oh no, that's a terrible idea, for example. And Zepar, the Lover's card, is here to guide you on making choices. So group number 2, you seem to be here because you need help in making a decision. Now, that isn't to say that this is going to be the be-all, end-all advice, but at least getting some information can help with consultation, right? So let's expand. What is the scenario of this 2 of Pentacles that group 2 is needing help with? Ooh, that was one. Depression. Why are you depressed? Let's move this up here. Let's go. Ooh, that's far too much. Seems like there is a lot to be said about depression. Justice. I'll put it like that. Okay. And extra clarity on justice. Father of Swords reversed. Okay. Group number 2, it seems like you are struggling emotionally because of maybe being caught in a legal battle with either a man or a domineering authoritarian energy who is looking to win for the sake of winning rather than it actually being true, fair, or just. There's someone who seems to want to hurt you. You're caught in the battle between something and something else. It's causing a lot of depression. Maybe you're not sure that you should continue this fight or not. Let's get some more clarity. Ace of Cups. Ooh. Group number 2. That tells you if it's between the fact that you think that maybe you don't have the ability or the energy to deal with whatever is going on with what you're stuck in, and it may not be legal matters, but it could very well be legal matters. Do what is right for you. So first, you're in a state of emotional hardship and possibly depression, if you want to use that word. That doesn't apply for everyone, of course. But there's a heavy burden. But lightness will come, and it's important to follow in your decision making whatever is the emotion that brings you brightness out of the 2 pentacles, let's say. So if you have 2 pentacles, if one makes you feel like, oh fuck, and the other one's like, man, I really want this, I really hope that this is the thing that happens, go with the thing that makes you feel good, that makes you feel happy, that makes you feel like your cup is full. This may be around a custody battle. This is because the Mother of Pentacles, I really get this sense of a divorce and maybe having to, fight custody over children, really, with like a Father of Wands reversed and justice and depression, and 2 things make like 2 realities separating. Could be over custody battle. The other thing about it too is that if it's not about custody battle of children, it's about taking care and nurturing yourself. So instead of focusing on being trapped between these 2 things, again, what is the opportunity that allows me to nurture myself, that allows me to provide myself a stable, caring, warm, inviting environment, basically. And trust yourself. Trust yourself. You are caught up in this 5 of Cups energy because of some nasty shit that a Father of Wands reverse is doing to you. But you know what is best. If you think it's going to be hard, technical difficulties. Let's switch over to the cards. If you think it's going to be hard and you don't know how you can deal with it because of the fact that you are feeling heavy and depressed, and that it's just draining your energy, it's hurting you a lot, well, you still ultimately know what is best for you, okay? Which means I'm pretty sure this is my bias, not the cards. But if you're caught between something and you're feeling depressed and there's some like heavy ass energy and a sense of like separation and dividing things up and trying to make things fair, I really do think that going and nurturing yourself is the right thing to be doing and starting a new emotional chapter for yourself, okay? Because I don't think anyone's intuition will be like, hey, it's a great idea to spend more time and to like give in to a viper cobra thing that's gonna kill me. So just saying, feel like maybe the going is a good idea. Again, there may be a lot of complications. Maybe you have like mortgages, maybe you have cars, maybe you have shared possessions, maybe you have kids. That's all just steps that can be taken. This person's going to be vindictive, manipulative, and they are going to try and hurt you. That is just awful. That is downright awful, I'm not going to lie. But is it better to stay in that pain where you already are in fear of getting hurt more, when getting through this process opens up a new emotional chapter for yourself, maybe for your family, if this is about divorce and children, about being able to feel stable and secure rather than walking terrified and depressed all the time, and really feeling like you made the right decision for you. So, Zephyr, the Lovers, bring in some reading here about what it really sounds like a divorce scenario. So let's go. I want to show a new thing that I also picked up. I'm picking up lots of things because I like to study divination techniques. So I've got myself some Druidic Geomanyc Sticks, and I would like to take the time in these videos to start incorporating other techniques and divination tools as part of a way for me to practice with them regularly. So I'm going to include this as part of your reading. So I would like to know, what is the last tidbit of information? Woo! That way. The last tidbit of information is the dragon's tail. So this would be the body going into the tail, the end part of the dragon. This is about endings, negativity, and to walk away from the past and learn a lesson. So, group number 2, don't shoot the messenger here. Know that these are general readings, etc. But whatever you're going through, if this is a separation, a divorce, a custody battle, legal battle, etc., you can do it, okay? You may feel like you're struggling and that this is going to carry on too long and this person's just going to keep chipping away at you. But it is important for you to walk away from this negativity. You have to walk past it to get away from it, okay? And new emotional fulfillment will come to you. You will start to actually be healthy and well and full of vital energy again, and you'll know that you had made the right decision. Okay, group number 2, please let me know if you like working with some Daimons. I feel like that might be a fun thing to continue doing. Let me know if you enjoyed checking out some Druidic Geomancy, and again, none of my business, but I hope that you do well with whatever endeavor you're experiencing, group number 2. You can always find me at my website. You know the deal on what to do for social media, and I'm always over on Instagram too, putting stuff there. So thank you so much, group number 2. We'll see you next time. Group number 3, we have Amon, this weird little serpent monkey cat thing. This is representative of the 2 of Pentacles. So we're going to start off the session by checking in with, why did group number 3 come for this reading? Come to consult Amon. 5 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, group number 3, it seems like you may be coming out of a period of lack, or perceived lack, or actual lack, or ill health, etc. You are in a stage of recovery. So let's expand on what is happening there. That's a jumper. Oh, death, transformation. Maybe you've had actual serious things come up in your family life. If so, my condolences, and I'm so sorry. This, hopefully more so, is about just like personal transformation and shifting. Maybe it's a death of like a job, or housing situation, or something about actual material goods. Let's continue to find out more. What is this death about? The Knight of Wands. Tell me more. Judgment and strength. Okay. group number 3. It seems as though you've been having a real transformative go, okay? You've been affronted with a really big challenge in your life because of this Judgment card. It's basically like the big exam, shall we say. When we have scenarios that come up in our lives that are extreme challenges and we're like, why? It's because it's an exam. It's testing us to see if we've learned the knowledge that we need to continue forward. So you've been going through a transformative time. Maybe things have been falling apart. Maybe you're experiencing a Saturn return. Maybe it's even just Saturn squares. Maybe it's the fact that globally right now everything is falling apart, and that's triggering something in your own life too. It's got you fired up. It's got you kind of ragey and angry, but also creative and just like full of energy that you want to like put out there into the world. It's also can be a lot of virility and a lot of sex drive too. Pent up sexual energy. But this energy has really been coming through as part of the struggle with the transformation, part of like just saying like I want to throw off my chains and be done with it, like I am ready to move forward. I'm ready to pass the test of Judgment. And Judgment upright does suggest that you are doing it, and that you've come out stronger, victorious, more personally empowered, more confident, even health-wise. You could be healthier, stronger immune system, stronger body, working out, etc. You are starting to feel like you are coming out of the liquefaction of the caterpillar. Okay, did y'all know this? This was like, I don't know, maybe a month ago that I learned this for the first time, that when a caterpillar makes a cocoon and it's inside of it, it actually liquefies itself. Like it loses all form. It completely deconstructs. And somehow magically its atoms and stuff know how to like reassemble into a butterfly, and then it struggles in the cocoon and breaks free. Like it liquefies itself. There is nothing more phoenix than that. Okay? So maybe you're having a bit of a phoenix moment. Hopefully you didn't liquefy. But you're coming out of this time. You're coming out of a time of strife. And you're consulting with Amon, who's the Two of Pentacles, which is about like, what should I be doing next? Where should I be going? What do I need to kind of prioritize? I've gotten this thing done. I feel like I need to move forward, but I'm not sure. So I need counsel. So let's see what else should be said. So if you need counsel on where to go next after coming out of this, that's a lot. Where do you need help? What kind of advice? What is the suggestion? All right, we have the Ten of Swords reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed. I have something on my mind, and I'm not going to say it until I get another card to please expand this. Okay, yeah, okay. So. Pile number 3. Again, it's really reiterating with the Ten of Swords reversed that you're coming out of this time. You felt like so many swords where you're dying, couldn't possibly get any lower than this, couldn't be any worse. Finally coming out of it. But what really came up for me when looking at this Eight of Pentacles reversed is having to go back and confront the mess that was left behind emotionally. I'm going to let that just sit there, those words, because it does seem like There is some sort of relationship at play here, and that doesn't mean erotic or romantic. It could be friends, it could be work, it could be coworkers, it could be acquaintances, family, it could be anything. It's about you and another person, that there's been a lot of emotional damage in the wake of whatever this death and transformation process was for you. There were maybe some people who were affected along the way. And I really get this sense that part of coming out of it is going back and maybe having to take accountability for all those cups you smashed. Even if this is a scenario that's over, even if this is, I don't think it is, but if it is a scenario that's over, that we've made decisions on moving away from it, it's still about having to learn about all those things that we broke along the way, all those glasses we smashed. Why? Why was that? That's part of the continuing of our rebirth and transformation, is having to take ownership, having to, be accountable to what happened along that journey in that dark, dark time. The Ace of Swords for me is very much saying that there is sort of this mental desire to like immediately go for some sort of new coupling. I'm gonna say don't, but we'll like check some other things. Challenge through adversity, etc., communication. What I will say with these, okay, what I'm getting, yes, communicate with the person that you need to be accountable and hold space for this coming back and having to confront all these broken cup things. But don't immediately get recoupled or re-together in any sort of way. It needs to be seen as something entirely new and not rushed. There is a lot of you still needing to put yourself back together before any of that happens. But I do think communication is going to be very important here between you and another individual about what has gone on, what happened during this very intense death time. I have another little tool that I'm excited to start using and practicing, which is Druidic Geomanyc Sticks. And I'm not extremely well versed in them yet, but I would like to integrate them into my practice so that I become stronger and better with them every single day. So let's find out what is the message that the Druid Sticks want to add to this. We have the prison. Obstacles, worry, limitations. Pay attention to emotions. Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of processing when you're coming out of this. Same with this. Even though you feel like energetic and stronger and better and greater and, you know, like, on one hand, group 3, and don't shoot the messenger over this, it almost sounds like detox, you know, where you suddenly have all this energy and you want to like channel into something else, and you feel like, oh, I finally like overcome this hurdle of being addicted to something, and I'm like stronger and better and awesome. There's and not all of you will probably be into this, but it brings to mind Trent Reznor, I think it's 9 Inch Nails, Burning Bright, Fields on Fire as a song. Listen to that. It's like, it kind of gives that narrative of going through transformation processes and being stronger and better and all that kind of stuff. But that's not to say that everyone is going through rehab and addiction stuff, but what it is saying is that there is stuff that still needs to be healed, and it needs to be healed through healthy communication and mutual exchange. Now, this could be you even just going to therapy and talking with someone else who is meeting you at a mutual level and holding a judgment-free space. This could be you talking to the person that you need to address over why you smashed a whole bunch of cups. This could be you having better communication with yourself as well. Your inner voice versus your external voice. So I think with Amon too, I would be interested in looking at reconcile friends and enemies. And I found that the daemon of each pile had something very particular about each pile. So I think there's, a process of asking for forgiveness here. Because it will weigh on you. And you will need, as part of your healing journey, to have communication and hold yourself accountable, be responsible, ask for forgiveness, etc. It does seem like you would get it if you are, if that is your scenario, if that's what's ringing true for you. A Two of Cups upright to me really says that a person is ultimately going to forgive you, which, we all need that forgiveness in our life, because it can be our own undoing in prison. Now, group number 3, please let me know if you like the sticks. I have other tools and divinations that I'm going to practice, but we're getting into some geomancy. Also, let me know what you thought about getting guidance from a daemon. I am very into this deck, and I hope to do more in this series, and I'd love to hear how you experienced this reading as well. And the usual, where you can find me on the web. I'm also over on Instagram by the same name, and you know what to do with all the social media things. You're savvy. So thank you so much. Let me know how you like this, and we'll talk next time, group number 3. Bye-bye now.